Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots-on-the-ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here. All of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah. All of this for me. Bottles over here. All of this for me. Bottles bringing bottles here. All of this for me. You for real?
Hello, and welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I am with my partner, Rocky Romanella. We are together today at the 360 Management Services Studios. You can see we have a different setup for you to look at today, Romo Sapiens, if you're watching on the FacebookLive.com/The Rome Show 1 feed. And I got to tell you, Rocky and I have been putting a lot of thought into this radio show and what can bring you, the Romo Sapien, the best product. And we believe we're onto something here. So, Rock, we're going to test out this new setup. We're looking at each other. We got the early matinee Monday Night Football game on. The vibes are high tonight.
The vibes are great. It's outstanding. There's actually sports around us. We're in an arena of
sports. And what you don't know is there's actually a TV to Rocky's right that you can't see that also has sports protruding on the screen. Remember, you can get in on the action, comment on the Facebook section, or head over to Twitter or Instagram at Wide World of Rome. Slide in the DMs or respond to the question section on the story page of the Instagram. Rock, there's a lot to dive into, and I'm sure you know where I'd like to start.
I'm guessing with NASCAR.
Yeah, how'd you know? Man, you are in my mind today. No, what is on my Rome today, Rocky, what's coming straight off my Rome today is that it is the year of Los Angeles. First, last week, we talked about this. It was my straight off the Rome from the October 12th episode, right? The Los Angeles Lakers win their 17th title in their franchise's history in the year that we have deemed the year of Kobe Bryant. And now the Los Angeles Dodgers come from 3-1 down in the National League Championship Series. They come from down twice in Game 7. And the year of Los Angeles seems to continue as the Dodgers book their ticket to the World Series, Rock, for the third time in 4 years.
Very happy for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm excited. It's a good story for a couple of reasons. And it's funny, like both series were very similar, but it was the Dodgers who were able to overcome the deficit, maybe playing into their ultimate destiny.
It's interesting. Do you think this could be the year?
Well, you might listen. It could be the year because Clayton Kershaw was Clayton Kershaw, but
pitching so good till that start.
But the Dodgers overcame it this year.
That's true. You are correct. See, that has been a killer in the past.
That's right. It typically starts and ends with Clayton Kershaw, like blow up.
Yes. So let me ask you this, okay? And I want to break down the NLCS first. We'll break down the ALCS. We'll give you our World Series picks. We got the whole thing coming your way. Oh, and don't worry, because Week 6 of the NFL season is coming up too. So it's a full docket for the Romo Sapiens. Let me ask you this. Is it worse being an Atlanta Brave fan right now? Or is it worse being a New York Yankees fan right now? And I say this. The Yankees were expected to be there, where the Braves are just a fun story about arriving.
So I'm not quite understanding of all the hatred on the Braves today.
Okay.
So maybe I missed something.
I think it's just simply because they were up 3-1.
Right, because they're
That's got to be it.
because Twitter's making it seem like these people are natural choke artists.
And it's
Whereas-
their first time.
Whereas, it's not. I mean, I grew up watching the Braves win the NL pennant.
Right. No, but I'm saying this team's first
Yes.
time
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that scenario.
For sure. I honestly, the memes that I'm seeing for the Braves are much more relative to the Dodgers if the Dodgers were to lose, right? I think it was Ariel Epstein who posted if the Dodgers lose, they become the Bills of the 90s.
That's exactly what I was.
That's great. I was like,
That's
I was like,
exactly
thank
what
God
I was
followed
thinking.
this girl because she was on the show because that
100%.
was an amazing line.
100%. And
You
that
could
is
even argue
why
it's the San Jose Sharks.
that is why that Cody Bellinger homer was so big. That wasn't just a big homer for Bellinger because over the course of his career, he's had some struggles in big games for the Dodgers in the playoffs. But it was like, they haven't won the World Series. So they need to win the World Series to Ariel's point.
No doubt.
But it was the monkey off the back of, hey, at least we're there. Because if we didn't get there, it would be that much worse.
I mean, if the Dodgers lose to the Braves, and by the way, it was looking like pretty handedly there for a second.
100%.
I mean, you almost have to be like, dude, maybe does this work?
Yeah.
Because
Is Dave Roberts the guy? I said this to a lot of people going into this series.
does this work? And is all the tickets and fans I'm selling, is that doing me enough as an ownership? Because I'll keep doing this to
I
make
think-
money.
I think it's an aging team. And I think Corey Seager's obviously your future. He's showing that. Cody Bellinger's obviously your future. He's showing that. Mookie Betts is obviously your future. He's showing that. You're showing a lot. And even though the Kershaws and the Justin Turners are getting older, and there are players on this team that you're saying to yourself, okay, AJ Pollock, they might be heading towards the back end as opposed to the front end. They still have a lot to build on. But my question was it the manager that was the manager to take them over the hump? And we've had this conversation a lot on these airwaves, right? Sometimes you have a manager that's the right guy to put the group together, but he's not the right guy to take them over the hill.
Sometimes, no, especially in a rebuild, there's a setup guy.
And I think if you watch the post-game presser with Dave Roberts after that Game 7 victory, and again, they haven't won the World Series. But I think if you're Dave Roberts in 2 straight years, you go to the World Series and then you get knocked out early last year and you don't make it back this year, hey, man, this is a cutthroat industry. He might have actually been looking at losing his job.
I think, yeah, I think so. I think when you have the success that the Dodgers have, then your success goes from regular season success to postseason success, right? And so the regular season becomes irrelevant because your talent is so good,
100%.
right? Like you almost get to a point where, hey, dude, if you don't make it to the playoffs, like you should fire yourself at this point based on the talent,
I agree.
right? And so that's kind of where he's at, and that's actually probably what you see in the NBA more than not.
You're right.
That's what we talked about with the Raptors.
Yes, 100%.
right. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, coach of the year gets fired,
That's right.
but then they go on and win the title the next year
because he couldn't win when they needed him to win.
against one team. It's crazy to think about that. Now we're on the other side of the ball,
Yeah.
right? You're Brent Snicker. You're the manager of the Braves. You're Acuna. You're Albies. You're Freddie Freeman. You're all these great guys, right? That clearly are a core to an organization that can be great for the next 10 to 15 years. We could be watching a reincarnation of the 90s Braves. 2 rookie starters, Ian Anderson, Max Fried, you have in that rotation. There's a lot to build around. But you can't deny the fact that this team was up 3-1 and we're even leading in Game 5 and Game 7, and we're still unable to close the door on this Dodgers team. Now, I get it. We just talked about they're a great team. But, man, that's difficult.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. I mean, it definitely sucks. But quite frankly, if the Houston Astros come back and beat the Rays, that's worse than what the Braves did.
I agree, and they were down 3-0 in that series.
mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the series, listen, the Braves and the Rays were both like in the driver's seat,
Yes.
and they both gave it up
Yes,
for sure,
100%.
for sure. But I just feel like the Braves are getting an unfair shake.
I could agree with you on that.
I just don't know
I
why
just think-
there's like
you know
don't
why?
why everyone's killing them.
Here's what happens. when you play well in the postseason,
Like, why isn't everyone just killing the Astros?
whether you expect, I agree with you though. That's a great point.
Like, I just
It's
don't
like,
get it. Why,
why
are
do
we
we
on the Astros? Who
forget
gives a
what
shit?
the
Like,
Astros did?
that's right.
Why are we forgetting that?
it'd be
A,
all over them.
but
Like,
B, to finish the Braves point though, I think when you start to succeed in the playoffs, whether people expected you to be there or not, there starts to come a presence around your team that it's like, okay, they're going to do this. So as you start to beat the Dodgers the way you're beating them in 3 of the first 4 games of that series, I think the collective masses saw what we saw. Okay, this might be the end of the line for the Dodgers, and this is the arrival of the Braves. I mean, they're up 3-1. How often do you see it? But yet, it's 2020, Rock, and I thought about this going to sleep last night. This is the year for comebacks. We watched the Denver Nuggets do it twice. We just almost watched the Astros do it. It happened in hockey, right? It's everywhere. People, it's crazy. But I think that's what made it fun was that you saw 2, and baseball needed it. 2 series, go to game 7 with a lot of storylines packed into 2 of them.
nah, they were good. They were. You're right about that. You're right about that for sure. And listen, I'm a Mets fan. Like, I'm happy the Braves lost. Like, let's be serious. Like, I mean, I watched them win enough in the 90s. Like, I
Yeah.
don't need them to win.
No, I'm good. And honestly, let's
Right.
be serious. Like, I don't need Freddie Freeman being the next Chipper
No,
Jones.
no chance. No chance. I know I'm going to be in real trouble if Ian Anderson puts a Chicks Dig the Long Ball commercial together.
Yeah, then we're cooked.
I know I got no chance.
And I'm here to tell you this, though. I just want you to know at the beginning of this postseason, your boy properly chose the Rays versus the Dodgers in the World Series.
I chose the Dodgers. So nice job.
You did choose the
We
Dodgers.
both got the Dodgers.
We both got the Dodgers.
You got both. You got the Rays.
I got
though.
the Rays and the Dodgers. Now,
the Rays were close.
did I choose a World Series champion? Did I say this is the year the Rays win it, or did I say this is the
No,
year
no. I think we both said this year the Dodgers.
that we did?
Yeah.
We have to go back and look at that tape because I'm not one of those guys. Like, I respect the heck out of. I was watching Frank Thomas and A-Rod last night and Big Poppy on the pregame show.
Big Poppy said Clayton Kershaw should start Game 7.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, dude, and B, did you see
He
that
pitched yesterday, dude. Like,
Big
no.
Poppy handed in his pick in a sealed envelope and said, "Don't open it till after the game."
That's
I was
actually
like,
really funny.
I know it's fantastic, but
I think Big Poppy's funny.
fantastic. The point of it is, though, is that Frank Thomas said, "I'm not going back on my pick." Right, no matter how it's played out in the postseason, you got to stick on your pick. So whoever I chose, and I believe it was the Dodgers as well, because that's what I have written down right now.
Well, we'll have to go to the tape.
We'll have to go to the tape and
You
we'll
could
double up.
maybe change what you wrote down.
We'll see. Because we're going to make pick predictions here in a minute on what we think is going to happen with the World Series. So if I happen to pick the Rays and I really chose the Dodgers on the airways next week, we will come back and we will rectify that.
I don't think we chose anything from the AL. I think we're all in on the Dodgers.
I think we're all in on the Dodgers too. Now, you mentioned you mentioned the Stros series before with the Rays. For those of you that maybe didn't know, Rays were up 3-0 in that series. Stros come barreling back.
I watched Game 4, and there is no more evidence than Game 4 that Dusty Baker willed his team to win 3 games.
Yes, 100%.
I like it was just so obvious. Like, those guys weren't ready to win this. They were not ready to win that series.
No, and I do think that, though, that's a team that really should not have been where they were.
No, they were 28-31, and everyone hates them.
Yes, they
There's
do.
no
It's
energy
crazy.
that's pulling for them to win. Right
It's crazy. It was crazy how much everyone wanted them to lose that
now.
series.
And no one's talking about it.
no one. I don't understand
I
it.
don't get why
But-
we're like, it's about time that the Astros got handed a bad.
But the
loss.
props are given and deserved to Dusty because he managed that game like it was like the 1985 ALCS.
Yeah, listen, there was
He didn't
no
care about analytics. Yeah.
No
Hey,
analytics.
because he walked out. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this in a Major League Baseball game before, ladies and gentlemen, but in Game 4, Dusty Baker walked out. I forget who was on the hill for the Stros. It was their starting pitcher. It was the 6th inning, and he had his closer warming up. Ken Giles was warming up, okay? Now, the thought process there is it's your best arm out of the pen first when you're in a win-or-go-home game. It's just facts. Whatever you can do. So you're thinking Dusty's coming out to pull the starter and bring in the closer, right? The manager never comes out of the dugout unless he's pulling somebody. Well, sure enough, you go to your 20-second commercial break expecting pitching change, and they come back on. I think it was Joe Buck, was like, I've never seen that before. The manager came out and didn't pull the pitcher. So something happened between him coming out of the dugout having that conversation and making a decision that wasn't analytic based, that had nothing to do with computers, and all about the gut. And you know what, Rock? It worked.
I know.
It worked. And that is the beauty of what people need to recognize. It's got to be a mix of both.
Dude, he had his long reliever in. I don't know who. Well, I don't know who was throwing before the ninth or going into the eighth, and in between innings, Dusty called over the catcher and was like, "Yo, how's he feeling?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Should I keep him in or should I keep him
Because
out?"
that guy's got the best view.
He wasn't like, "Oh, do I have a lefty or a righty coming up next inning? Do I have a 286 hitter? Or do I have a 300 hitter?" Like,
What do you think the analytics would have told him there?
the analytics would have told him to take him out? But listen, Dusty keeps him in, has feel, right? Guy gives up like a leadoff, it was like a leadoff hit or a leadoff bloop, whatever.
Yep.
Took him out, but it didn't hurt him
No.
because there's nothing in that decision. Because I think the players are more affected by analytical decisions than anyone realizes.
Oh,
I think
100%.
I think that closers in baseball suck because of analytical decisions. I think that your setup men suck because of analytical
Yes.
decisions, because they're thrust into situations that in their heart, in their sports gut, tells them that, dude, I'm good here.
100%.
Right? Like if they've got a guy who they throw with, like if let's say me and you are teammates, right? And you're on the hill and you're throwing gas
Yes.
for an inning and a half and
Yes.
you are lighting it up and a lefty comes up, there's nothing inside of me that says I should be ready to throw right now.
100%.
Manager comes in and puts me in and I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Right. You're 100% right. And the mental game is
It's-
everything about baseball.
I'm telling you. And by the way, it's not just this year, right? The
Recurring theme.
Cavs came back from the Warriors 3-1, right? We saw a 16 beat a 1 in the last 5 years in the NCAA
Yeah,
tournament.
it's a
We've
mindset.
seen more upset. We've seen more. So like this focus on analytics, this focus on like the media in every little piece of the game and having to answer for every decision is affecting the athletes. And that's just a tangent on.
No, but you know what's funny is it's great. It's funny you say that because I listened to Sam Darnold today on the Michael Kay show, and Peter Rosenberg says to him, "Are you tired of the media asking you all these questions?" And his first point was valid. Obviously, it's tough when you don't play to answer those questions. But he's like, "You have a job, and I have a job. I'm not doing mine very well, and unfortunately, that means you have to ask me about how I'm not doing mine very well." And I just can't help but think, like, how does Sam Darnold not hang up that phone and be like, "Why do I do these interviews every week?" That has to affect you in some way, shape, or form as those athletes. And how many more times can Sam Darnold say, "Our offensive line needs to play better. Our wide receivers, our running backs, our quarterbacks, we all need to play better." And then you're sitting there as a teammate and you're listening to this, and this is national airways. And I always say to myself, these people do care what the media say. It does affect them. Those things do matter. And you see that matriculate in decisions.
Well, that's why on every single, professional team now you have a sports therapist, you have a
Yeah.
sports psychologist, right? To
100%.
talk about how to block that stuff out and how to play through it. But I mean, listen, yes, I never understood like, hey, you owe it to the fans, right? That part that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I'm there to watch you play.
You're right.
I'm there to watch you play.
100%.
Like I don't care. I want you to play hard. I'd rather watch you play hard and not talk on an interview than watch you like do something stupid and then talk to me.
Bill Belichick, case in point.
And then do something stupid and talk to me. I don't need
Terrible
you to talk
interview,
to me
Bill
about it.
Belichick. Terrible interview. Great coach.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what he does in the interview room. Shout out.
Although tough to be a Pats fan yesterday.
I agree. We're going to talk about that in a little bit
Yeah.
when we get into the second half
For
of
sure.
this show. You're listening to The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2 and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. You can call into the show at any time, 609-807-2492. That's 609-807. Call The Rome Show. No, I'm kidding. 2492. I wish we had one of those phone numbers. Shout out to Chris Langen, head baseball coach for Felician University, tuning in. His brother tuned in last week, and I saw him on Wednesday. And it's funny how the Rome Show is starting to get a little play in the college baseball circuit. After that camp that I did, probably about 10 to 12 follows on the Rome Show
Like it.
from the kids because the word is getting out.
I got a couple shout outs here too. I've got Patrick Bailey,
Oh,
in from
love
DC.
that. Okay.
top one. I mean, not above you, of course, but top 1% best man speech ever
Ever of all time, no doubt.
We got Howell's finest, Ray Tillerson,
Okay.
tuning in with a little LGM.
Let's
in
go
the
Mets.
chat.
I
Gotta
saw
love it.
that. Love it.
Gotta love it. And then a fan favorite of both you and the Rome Show is the one and only recently engaged Matt Betts. So we got
Oh, Matt
big-
Betts, congratulations!
I know
Yeah.
a big time spectrum. So you've got
Clap it up,
DC,
Matt.
so you've got Caps and you've got the Cat. They like the Caps and the Washington FC down there. You got Ray, who's a big Mets fan, but you've got Betts is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
I know, and how about that? They're bad.
It's
tough
To be,
for- it's tough to be a
Jags
Jags
It's tough
fan.
to be a Giant fan.
It's
So
tough to be a Jets fan too. Again, talk about that in the second half. Make sure you stay
Yeah.
with us all the way up until 8:05 tonight on HamiltonRadio.net channel 2. And John Garvey writes in, how was your golf game today? So to finish out the shout outs, I got to tell you a story before we give World Series predictions, okay? Because as you know, my part-time job is playing in golf outings, right? So
Andrew's played in 10 golf outings in the last 6 days. I don't know
So
how it's possible.
I don't know either, but two days was tough. But I played in the Stack baseball, or excuse me, Stack in general alumni golf outing today. It was awesome. So I have to tell you this story, and you got to tell me if this is legitimate. Okay, par 3, 168 yards to the pin, 160 to the green. Okay, Garvey hits it on. We're a rock. We are good. I mean, I'm going to tell you in yards. That's how far we are from the hole. On the green, though, down, it's uphill, going left to right, 22 to 25 yards away from the hole. Okay, that's a lot of feet, ladies and gentlemen. 60-something feet, 70-something feet. What do you got? Because I see you laughing.
Oh no, sorry. Betts just did a group text it here. So
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I go fourth in the putting. Now, Murata hits it close, my buddy. So now I'm like, all right, I'm attacking the hole here. Okay. My other buddy marks the ball that's closest because now you have the par putt if I don't make this birdie putt. Okay.
nice.
I just attacked the hole, Rock. And it was a great shot right on line. But it was about, and I'll put it towards the camera, that far to the right of the hole was my shot, bending left to right.
Wow.
It hits the ball marker
Oh no.
and goes in the hole. It was unreal.
That's amazing.
Now remember, this is like a 70-foot putt.
Oh
like,
yeah.
it is a recklessly
Bananas.
far bananas. Rock.
Yard sale.
Murata spiked the club. Somebody threw something else. There was people jumping up and down. And I said to myself, right, first off, is that really legitimate?
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I said. Because
course,
the
it's a golf
marker,
outing.
right, and the marker was there.
That's
like,
right. It's a golf outing.
no-
As if the ball was there.
100%.
Didn't
That's
make it up to the green. in time.
right. And that's right. Now the second thing is, what does that look like when you're on the tee
Ah,
box?
And it's not a hole in one.
And it's not. So you
Nah.
just see a bunch of idiots jumping around the green, high-fiving each other.
I'm
but it-
picturing Stanley Cup gloves, helmet, sticks
yes,
in the air.
it's exactly what it was
Yeah,
like.
complete yard sale.
But I have to tell you, man,
Javelin, throw the hole, the pin.
the whole nine, the whole nine. Probably one of my top 3 favorite moments on a golf course of all time.
That sounds incredible.
It
I
was
wish I was
crazy.
there. Turn in your scorecard at that,
It
at
was
that moment
100%.
because the golf outing is about drinking beers for the rest of the day.
And it definitely was. And that's why we were -4 at that point with about 12 holes to play, and we only finished -6. That's what happened. But there's the golf. That's how my golf was today.
That sounds. I'm jealous. I missed.
It was impeccable. I also, and I'm gonna flex on the Romo Sapiens a little bit here. Okay. And this is a fact, Rocky.
Okay.
I drove a ball 321 today.
Did you win the longest drive?
I did not because it wasn't on that hole.
How do you know it was 321?
Because we played at a really nice golf course with GPSs in the golf cart.
Oh,
So when you drove up from where your colored tee box was, it told you how far you were
That's
from the
amazing.
tee box. So every time you drove up, that was how far your drive was.
how much is that golf cart?
That
get
golf
that?
cart was really expensive.
Yeah.
We should think about investing in one.
Put a down payment on that.
Maybe if somebody wants to donate to the Rome show. All right, here's the deal. We just set it up for you. Now we're going to break it down for you. The World Series starts tomorrow night, Tuesday,
Very exciting.
October 20th. Okay. The Rays
Yes.
versus the Dodgers.
Clayton Kershaw, game 1.
You just read my mind.
I know.
Kershaw has been announced to be on the hill for the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow has been announced to be on the hill for the Rays. Let's just keep this simple, Rock. Just give me your vibes on where this World Series goes.
It's going 6-6.
Okay.
Minimum 6.
Now, can I give you the schedule or does that not matter to you?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, because there are breaks in the World Series.
They're not playing every day.
So game 1, game 2, Tuesday, Wednesday. Off day Thursday. Now, this is interesting. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Good.
off day Monday, then it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, game 6, game 7.
Are the times normal? Because I went to bed watching the Stros and the Rays. It was like midnight. And I woke up, and by 3 o'clock, they were playing baseball again. And I couldn't understand why.
The times are semi-normal. Normal to the degree that I think you'll be able to watch majority of the game. Not normal to the fact that the first one is at 8:09 p.m. and the second one is at 8:08 p.m.
As long as they don't start after 9, I guess I'll watch.
Fun Romalytic for you.
Yes.
Do you know why national television games start at odd times?
Yeah, national anthem.
Well, partly, but more so because it helps you remember the time of the game. Since it's so odd,
That's not why.
you remember it. I learned that in school.
That's not that they lied to you.
That's not why.
It's the
book-
national anthem.
You know, when they said read chapters 1 and 2, I read chapters 1
No,
and 2.
you didn't. You were like
I
everyone
read
else,
'em.
and you said there's
I-
no homework.
I
tonight.
read. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
got to a syllabus. It said read chapters 1 to 5. I said, sweet, no homework.
I
tonight.
get it. I'm in my master's right now, and I can't even lie to you. That's like the
That's-
exact thought process.
That's it. Dude, it's the national anthem.
Yep.
That's why it's at 7
and
and
it's,
3.
and it's also for people to remember the games. Either way, 8:09, 8:08, 7:02, 9:09. You
I'm
got
not gonna
them.
turn it on until the 4th inning anyway.
You got the Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6.
Why?
It's the year of the Dodgers. I picked the Dodgers.
That's it.
Pick the Dodgers. It's not, they're both good, so it's not going to be a sweep or a 5.
All right. Well, here's my prediction. Okay, because I think it's going to go 7.
Okay.
All right. For some reason, I just feel like it's going to play out that way. But I do believe it's going to lead to Clayton Kershaw in game 6 or game 7 having the moment of his career.
I'm cheering hard for Clayton.
So
Kershaw.
am I.
I want him to succeed
So badly. Like,
Yes.
you know who he reminds me of? And I know it just happened. So it's you know, recency bias to a degree, but it's Stamkos for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like Stamkos had such
no.
a great or Ovechkin,
No.
more so.
more like
Ovechkin.
Yeah.
He's great. His whole career, Hall of Famer, no doubt, but couldn't win the big games. Was a part of bad losses, like really bad series losses.
Very underperforming teams.
Yes.
Mostly because of his lack of participation. on the
Absolutely.
defensive zone.
And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, the year of the Capitals happens 2 years ago. And now people look at Alexander Ovechkin literally in a Wayne Gretzky category light now, just because he won that one cup.
Well, and in the years leading up to it, he started playing defense.
100%. And now he was a well-rounded athlete. And now we've talked about this. We think he'll break the goals record. But I understand where the Clayton Kershaw conversation comes from when you see guys like Ovechkin in that same light.
Yeah, Kershaw, dude, Kershaw is literally Kershaw is almost probably more like Marino than he is anyone else.
Yeah.
Although Marino's was on bad teams.
Yeah, the only difference though is, and this is where, and I'm not being a Dolphins homer, okay? I'm not just defending Marino here. Where it's different for Marino though is, and you know this, like you could be the best quarterback of all time, but it doesn't matter if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have weapons, or you could have a great offense and have a terrible defense. Clayton Kershaw's issues literally are him.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, he's probably more like LeBron before he went to Miami than
Yeah, I would probably
it's an
agree with that.
we have to make individual references.
Yes.
You can't make team references.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's
is.
on him.
Because listen, baseball is an individual sport within a team concept.
Listen, Jeff Trundy starts and ends on the hill.
100%.
That's it.
And that is why teams can win big games, because you have one guy that is on the hill and it's the best night of his career. And I think it's going to happen for Clayton Kershaw, but it's not going to be his first start of this series. It's going to be when it gets to his second.
Yeah, if he gets a second based on his first,
Dodgers in 7. You got Dodgers in 6.
you got it.
All right, listen. Go ahead.
Before the break,
Shout it out before the break.
Before the break, a school typically known for baseball, Coastal Carolina Chancellors,
Yep.
right? Big shout out to Michael Milan,
Okay.
because the Chancellors are now the number 25 ranked football team
Wow.
in college football.
How about that?
First time ever ranked.
And let's be serious. In a year where you would not normally ever watch Coastal Carolina, they've been on national TV like 3 or 4 times.
Big time W for the Chancellors.
Is that how you say it? Chancellor? Or is it
I have
Chanticleer?
no idea. I have no idea how to say it.
Is it Chanticleer?
I'm trying to sound it out right now. It makes no sense to me.
If somebody could write in on Facebook.com/The Rome Show
He's
1.
writing in. He's writing in. He's saying. he's
No,
act-
I'm saying like spell it out
Like
phonetically.
phonetical.
Yes,
yeah.
phonetically for us. Chanticleer, I think it is. My guess is Chanticleer. Your guess is
Chandeliers.
All
Like the
right.
chandelier.
Like,
the
okay. The Coastal Carolina Chandeliers. Here it is. We're going to take a break. We're going to pay some bills. Okay. And then we're going to come up on the back side of the Rome show, take you all the way till the end. We're going to talk a little bit of football. We got some fourth down territory to play for you as well. And of course, what you're watching, it is Andrew Romanella. It is Rocky Romanella. It is the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. And it is you, the Romo Sapien, here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1.
Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots on the ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and led its improved financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
All right, welcome back into the Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. I'm Andrew Romanella. That is Rocky Romanella. We are taking you all the way up until the 8:05 hour. You can call into the show at any time, 609-807-2492. We have had some clarity on the Rome Show here on October 19th that Coastal Carolina's mascot, it's not the Chanticleer. It is not the chandelier. No, ladies and gentlemen, it is actually the Sean Clears.
No, the Clears.
Oh, him too. Honestly,
Not Claire's.
Clears.
Clears.
Chanticleers.
Yeah, you sounded like you said Eau Claire.
Can I ask you, off the top of your head, what is a Chanticleer?
I've no. It's got to be like a rhino.
I think it's a
or like-
bird. My guess is bird.
Nah. What's the thing from Role Models? A Minotaur.
Yeah. The Coastal Carolina Minotaurs.
No, Chanticleer.
Oh,
Dressed
but
as a Minotaur.
that's what the mascot looks like
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah, for sure.
This reminds me of a segment every time when we did the NASCAR.
That's a
What
good
would
one.
your sponsor? Oh,
Yeah.
God. That was a fantastic segment. All right. A lot of football going on. We have someone in the background here of the 360 Management Services studios.
I'm looking for a touchdown from Tyreek Hill.
It's the early opportunity of Monday Night Football with the Kansas City Chiefs leading the Buffalo Bills by 6. Week 6 is a lot to unpack. Some underperforming teams, Rock. Some teams that I think maybe overperformed a little bit. And I think some questions to be asked about individual players across the NFL. So here's what I did. Okay. I set us up with 4 minutes on the stopwatch.
Exciting. I get to do short answers.
Yes, I know you love short answers.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to run through every game in the NFL here. And we're just going to talk for our 4 minutes. We only get 4
4 minutes.
because we have fourth down territory to get to. And we have some stuff that we need to
I think
discuss.
I'm going to excel in this segment. It's you who's going to need some more.
It is 100% going to be me. All right, Romo Sapiens. Remember, you can write in at Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1, or you can get in on the Instagram. We're going to respond to the fan questions after we are done with this 4-minute drill. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, 4-minute drill. Here it goes. Game 1 on the docket. The Miami Dolphins beat the New York Jets. The Dolphins go to 3-3. The Jets, Rocky, 0-6.
Excited for 2 reasons. Picked up Fitzmagic off the waiver wire yesterday just because
Oh.
I knew he was going off. Although he only got me 18 points, but that's
Because
okay.
the 2 picks.
Yeah. It's too bad. Even more excited that Tua. got
I
to
knew
play.
it. I knew it was
Pumped
coming.
that
I
Tua got
knew
to
it was
play.
coming. I
Yeah.
tweeted it as well. Super excited. I thought that was a great move by Brian Flores.
Of course. How could you not put him in?
24-0 was the score there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, to Rocky's point, 18 of 27, 191 yards, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. Rocky, in an overtime thriller with a really interesting decision by Romeo Crennel, the Titans defeat the Houston Texans 42-36. Was that a gigantic mistake by the interim head coach?
No, you gotta make a splash on the first week, like because if it goes right, he's a genius.
Yeah.
So and by the way, you're 0-4. You got no chance. You
One.
might as well. Yeah, whatever. I mean, they suck. Let's just be serious. Like they haven't won a lot of games.
I agree.
I think
Go for it.
the point is do it. But by the way, how could you not be cheering hard for Ryan Tannehill?
I
right now?
agree 100%.
So you gotta love it.
And how are you not Sam Darnold saying, I hope that works out for me when I'm done with the Jets?
Yeah. Please, someone believe in me enough to give me a good offense.
The Colts come back from 21 down against your Joe Burrow's Cincinnati-led Bengals to win 31-27. Rock, I can't tell you how huge that win was for the Colts. That pushes them to 4-2.
It's very classic regular season Philip Rivers, in my opinion. I feel like that's very Philip Rivers, like early in his career-esque, where like he could just win a game. He could throw like, you know what I'm saying?
Threw for
Like,
371.
like I just feel like that was when Philip Rivers busted into the league with Roethlisberger and Eli Manning. That was one of his big deals. I feel like he could win big games like that, and that's kind of what it was like.
All right, blow the whistle. We've reached the 2-minute warning.
I was wondering.
It's just funny. I was counting down the seconds. All right, 2-minute warning. Towel off here. That wasn't a bad job. All right, Rock. We got through 3 games. We have 6 more, 7, 8 more, 9 more on the docket.
Jeez, if I'm a poorly mismanaged team, I might have to take a timeout after this break.
All right, so you have 1 timeout if you need it. All right, 2 minutes on the clock. We're going to start with the Falcons versus the Vikings. The Falcons defeat the Vikings 40-23. Rock, 2 bad football teams.
Game's irrelevant. Move on.
All right. Moving on to a tough loss from the New England Patriots. This drops them to 2-3 on the year. The Denver Broncos moved to 2-3 as well, defeating the Patriots, rocking a weird score, 18-12.
Yeah, tough. Looks like coronavirus got the best of Cam.
Yeah, I don't think he
Although
looked
he
very
had 20
good.
points on my bench, so
I know, but he didn't look great.
no, he
That's
looked
the
bad,
thing.
and he got smoked from behind. Big sack.
Your New York Giants defeat the Washington football team 20-19. Honestly, I don't know what I watched.
I loved it. I saw a lot of good play from a young defense.
I'll tell you what, too, that was exciting because I think that's the area where you thought you didn't have a lot of talent.
Honestly, the Giants have back-to-back games with 2 picks. Like, come on.
The Ravens had a big lead against the Eagles. They held on to win 30-28. Carson Wentz did everything he could to will back the Eagles, but they just couldn't win this game.
Carson is not the guy.
That's just not wow. Hot take.
Carson's not the guy.
Wow, hot take. We have to get in that in a little bit, but we have 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the 4-minute drill. Steelers blow out the Browns 38-7. If you have a hot take on Baker, hold it because that might be a down.
It was only a matter of time before the Browns got beat. Like
I
this.
thought
Come
so
on,
too.
let's be serious.
And why not let it be Mike Tomlin and the
Dude,
Steelers?
and the Steelers just own them.
They own them. The Bears defeat the Panthers 23-16. What?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles might be the real deal. Lions over the Jaguars. Sorry, Bets. 34-16. Matty Stafford slinging it around.
Gotta love it. Stafford for fantasy points forever.
Gardner Minshew, not a bad day, though. Doesn't look like a terrible quarterback. The Buccaneers slaughter Rock the Packers 38-10. Is that an anomaly?
91st touchdown reception between Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
That's nuts.
I know.
And the Packers just look pedestrian. When Aaron Rodgers doesn't look great, it's not a problem.
Yeah, he's good, dude.
Hey, listen, first time in his career, he had 2 pick sixes and within 10 minutes.
Only the 3rd of his career, though.
That's insane.
I know. Very impressive.
Last game on the docket, the 49ers defeated the Rams. I didn't expect that. Jimmy Garoppolo bounced back after getting benched by the Dolphins 23-33, 268, 3 TDs.
Honestly, I was one of the 6 million to flip to the World Series instead of that game.
I agree. I mean, obviously, I'm a baseball guy, but I watched it more too. Flip back and forth a little bit.
A little bit, but I don't know, for whatever reason, the Rams 49ers wasn't doing it for me. And I'm a Jared Goff fan.
Blow the whistle on the 4-minute drill. That was a fantastic job. We should towel off here for a second
Can
before.
you stop saying that? Please?
It's such a good reference for sports.
I don't know.
We're gonna
maybe.
take a second. We're gonna grab some water here
How about that? That's better.
before we go.
Actually, if I play in the NFL, I'm gonna have someone walk over and squirt,
And squirt the
water
water
into my mouth.
yeah, really, because I can't grab the water bottle myself. One thing I wanted to note on the Tua Tagovailoa, because obviously I'm wearing my Dolphin stuff today because I'm so super amped about this football team. But I think what these games in the last 2 weeks have showed you is I don't know if Tua is actually going to start this year until it becomes apparent the Dolphins aren't in the playoffs anymore. As long as they're in the playoff hunt, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter. But what I saw was a veteran guy that is willing to do everything he can to teach the young buck how to be a great quarterback.
And to keep playing, man. The Magic,
100%.
the Magic's job was on the line the last 2 weeks.
I agree with
We
you.
talked
We
about
talked
it.
about it a lot.
And he is not only he's been truly Fitzmagic.
Here are his stats this year because I thought this was really interesting. Okay. He has a 70% completion percentage, which I thought was unbelievable. 1,500 yards, 10 TDs, and 7 interceptions. And, most people might say, oh, well, that's a lot of interceptions. Dude, are we serious? It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, he's going to throw 15. So 7 to me, 5 games in with 3 wins, I'll live with that any day and twice on Sunday.
You've treated the guy like a Band-Aid quarterback for his whole career. Now you're going to hold him to this interception thing? No, forget about
And
it.
I thought about this before we move on. While I was watching the game, I said to myself, this is crazy, but to think that Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be remembered the most as a Dolphin is kind of crazy. And I don't think it's just recency bias either. I think you're seeing the best Ryan Fitzpatrick consistently over the course of his time as a starter in his career.
I feel like a Jeff Garcia kind of comes to mind when you think of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That year with the Eagles where he just like tore it up as like the
Remember
third
him
string.
as an Eagle almost, right?
Yes.
Less as
A 49er,
right?
Yes, 100%.
There you go.
Because where his great games were.
That's right.
All right. Well, I want to dive a little bit deeper. That's why we also have 4 down territory on the docket for you today as well. Okay. So these are my 4 storylines from the NFL this weekend. Okay. Call in if you disagree or if you agree. 609-807-2492. Or, of course, as always, write it in on the Facebook. Enzo writes in, Rodgers melted down. I think, maybe you do something you haven't done in a minute. Sometimes that changes your mindset. Rocky talked about that a little bit earlier, and that might have been why Aaron Rodgers didn't play as well.
I had a soundbite from Rodgers' press conference after the game. It was just like, you know what, we were just too
cocky
high.
almost.
Yeah, we were too high. We weren't ready to play. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's talking about the whole. He's probably talking about himself too.
4 down territory, 1st and 10 right here, Rocky. We don't need any false starts. Okay, unlike some teams we've watched in the NFL, let's stay unpenalized on this drive.
Let's do what we can.
All right. The Bears and Nick Foles are 5-1. The question is simple, Rocky. Are they real?
I mean, listen, I think the Bears the Bears are legitimate. I think they're a legitimate playoff team.
I do too, but I just
They have a lot of good weapons.
and their defense is good. That's what we have to keep. That's what we have to remember is their defense is really good.
And by the way, they could easily be 6-0.
Yeah, and that loss
I
was
think
the single loss with the
And I think you thrust
Mitchell
it-
Trubisky.
And I think no, it's the loss with Nick Foles' first start.
Oh yeah,
He won. He won when they
Right.
took Mitch out.
That was against the Atlanta Falcons. That was the first of the downfall to Dan Quinn.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, you think that's probably the adjustment game,
Yeah,
and now
Yeah.
they're
you're
back,
100% correct.
right.
I agree. And I think that this might be the place where Nick Foles figures it out as a full-time starter because, that's been a bugaboo in his career is that, he won it with the Eagles that year. Great. He performs in the playoffs. Yeah. But every time he's had a chance to be the starter, once in St. Louis / Los Angeles, right? Then with the last year, who was he with? The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Fighting Betsies.
Yep.
Right. And now with the Chicago Bears. So it's kind of nice to see Nick Foles succeeding in that consistent starter role.
Well, is he though? Because he didn't start the year as a starter.
Right.
He didn't play 3 games. Came in.
But I think that's because you had to give the keys to Mitch and to let him fail.
Fair enough, but it's obvious. It's obvious now that you sacrificed the game to get the person you wanted in.
Facts.
Right? Because I mean, think about it. Like, you don't take on any other team. Trubisky doesn't come out of that game.
No, because you're 2-0 going into that game. So
On any other,
You lose one game.
You let them figure it out together.
100%.
Right. You just did not want Mitch to be the guy. You took the slightest of chance to be like, yeah, you're done.
100%. I agree with that. And that's why I was mad that day. You said to me, oh, this is what yeah, I agree, but that's messed up because it's not like when you look at it, he is necessarily performing. He's underperforming. There are probably 12 to 15 other teams that would take his performance at that moment in time and put it on their starting roster.
So now Mitch Trubisky is like Sam Darnold. Like, man, hopefully my Ryan Tannehill life could come true.
But by the way, before we get on to second down, I thought about this over the weekend when I was looking at some quarterback injuries and I heard that Baker might not play and the Browns only have one other quarterback on their roster, Sam Rosen. Again, mind-blowing to me.
Josh Rosen?
Josh Rosen,
Oh,
excuse me.
yeah, I know.
Okay, mind-blowing to me.
I know.
Mind-blowing how he's not on an NFL roster.
doesn't make
And
any
you got the
sense.
Browns who don't even have but 2 quarterbacks.
I know.
Crazy.
It doesn't make the Giants only have 2 too.
I know. It's mind-blowing. So I just thought about that over the weekend. It's kind of funny how that point always comes back. All right, that was a good game on first down. 2nd and 5. Devontae Freeman carried the ball. Line looked good. The Patriots, this is their worst start since Tom Brady's rookie season.
0-2.
They are 2 and 3, and currently, and I've seen this funneling all over the tweeters, the Miami Dolphins are ahead of the Patriots in the AFC East standings. Rock, are we watching a bad year for the Patriots, or is this just simply them figuring it out, and in the next 11 games, we're going to see it?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I
'cause
know.
I feel kind of both. Like I feel like, Belichick era, like this is his, like this is when you say, hey, listen, the quarterback is more important than the line when you're rebuilding.
Yes.
Right? This is that part of it.
Yes.
But you'd rather rebuild the line if you don't have the quarterback, right? So this is kind of where that is right now. I just, based on what I've seen and based on the Matt Castle year, I have to think the Patriots figure it out and then the season over 500.
I agree. 100%. Now,
It's just the recipe is too good, and Cam's a professional quarterback.
and he's a former MVP. The guy knows
And
how
if
to
Cam-
win.
And by the way, if Cam doesn't get Corona,
Yeah.
I don't think he plays like that.
I agree 100%. And by the way, the team that we're watching on Monday Night Football right now, the Buffalo Bills, they're probably winning this division. At least I think.
No doubt.
And I don't care that they might drop 2 straight, to Kansas City, and they lost last week as well. I understand that. Okay. And that kind of leaves the division open, because if you think about it, the Dolphins are only 1 game behind the Bills at that point in time, 4-2, 3-3. But then that also tells me that, yeah, but the Patriots just stay in striking distance.
Sure.
So when they do figure it out, 10-6 is probably going to win this division. And you're telling me right now you couldn't see this Patriots team going 8-3 over the next 11?
Why not?
Why not? Absolutely, why
By
not?
the way, you don't know who's getting Corona.
And they have to play the Jets.
Yeah.
They have to play the Jets twice. So I mean, that's 2 wins right there. So again, I agree with you. I don't think it is for real. 3rd and 2. Okay. I don't know if you're a play action pass guy on 3rd down. I am.
Bootleg.
Oh, huge fan of it.
My
Okay.
favorite. Only goal line option.
3rd down here. While we were getting ready to get on the air, Patrick Mahomes completed his 90th career touchdown pass, Rocky. That made him the quickest quarterback ever to 90 touchdown passes in their career at 37 games. Do you know who the quarterback that held that record was prior to Patty Mahomes?
What's the record? The fastest to 90?
90 TDs in his career.
Fastest to 90 it's got to be Peyton, right?
Nope.
Please tell me it's Eli. That'd
Nope.
be amazing.
It would be amazing.
No, but it's definitely not. Let's see. If it's not Peyton, I don't know. Is it someone modern?
It's Dan Marino.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. Dan Marino
I
did it.
knew it was someone. It was you had a smirk.
Dan Marino did it in 40 games. So 3 less games for Patty Mahomes.
I tell you what. I mean, listen, he's proving why he got paid.
100%. Now to complete 3rd down, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Oh no.
Hot take multiplier.
Yes.
Are we watching a first ballot Hall of Fame career? Will it end up that way?
And Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
Does he win multiple Super Bowls?
Yes.
Okay.
Wins 2.
Oh, only 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say 3 on my rebuttal.
Well, Peyton only won 2.
See, and why I think Patrick Mahomes is going to win 3 is because I feel like this Chiefs team stays together for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, listen, I could see him in it. I could see him in it for more than 2.
But you're right; it is super difficult to win championships at any level. But
I mean, here's
no repeat Super Bowl winner since the mid early 2000s.
Is the core good enough to go back 6 times in his career like the Patriots did with Tom?
Right. That's actually a great question.
Or
Or
is
8
there-
times because they went 8 times.
It's not even about their core. Is the general management in place to recycle talent over the course of Patrick Mahomes' career
That's
the
a great
same way the
point.
Patriots did? Because that's really
What
that
it
was
comes
really
down
the
to.
difference maker.
You continue to rebuild your roster.
Difference maker is you
Yeah.
recycled talent and you interchange your whole core there. So
You're playing guys that aren't making a lot of money, making big plays for you.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you won it with 5 different running backs.
I thought it was good play call on 3rd down. However, we didn't make it, so we're at 4th and inches.
Beautiful.
All
Let's
right.
go for it.
We're going for it. We are Riverboat Ron Rivera in the Washington game, deciding to go for 2 instead of kick the extra point and go to overtime against the Giants. Monday Night Football times 2. Okay. Obviously, times 1 went to the Kansas City Chiefs over the Buffalo Bills. But times 2 is a huge game for the NFC East. It is Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to necessarily ask your prediction as much as I'm going to just ask you to talk to me about how big this game is and what it does for the NFC East.
The Dallas Cowboys versus Arizona Cardinals game.
Yes.
You're asking me how big it is.
Cowboys are 2-3. The Eagles are 1-4-1. The Giants and the Redskins are 1-5. Oh, the Washington football team are 1-5.
Yeah.
If they don't win this game, as scary as it sounds, the whole division is still wide open.
So yeah, from a divisional standpoint, like I don't know if it means too much.
Okay.
Like I think it's just more hype than anything. I think ultimately Dallas is gonna win the division.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the importance of this game for 2 reasons.
Well, there's probably a historical significance that I'm missing.
No, it's not even that at all, honestly. The first one is just simply the fact that I don't care how bad the other 3 teams might seem. If you're the team that's supposed to be winning the division
gotta win the
and you're not winning those games, it just gives other teams the ability to believe. And what's telling you that, and listen, this is crazy thought here, but this Giants team that's battled in every game they've played, right? Battled every, couldn't sneak a win next week and all of a sudden be 2-5. If the Cowboys lose this game, you're looking at them losing next week and you being tied for the division.
Listen, I'm not opposed to that happening.
That's a moral victory in itself, though.
Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots on the ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion. Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots on the ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion. Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots on the ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
have reportedly agreed to start a 60-game season on July 24th. John Tatum is the CEO of Genesco Sports Enterprises, a marketing and sports sponsorship firm working with major companies like PepsiCo and American Airlines. Joins us once again tonight. John, welcome back. This was a long time coming. Wasn't sure it was going to get done, but it appears as though it is.
Well, Scott, it's great to be with you tonight. And I'm excited because after 104 days after 3/11, the day the sports world stopped, it looks like we're finally getting back to sports. So the players are going to report on Wednesday, July 1st, to their local ballparks. They'll have about 3 weeks of spring training, pick up where they left off on.
Rube. All right, we are back here on the Rome Show. Sorry we had some technical difficulties. Obviously, when you're trying out a new look on your studio, sometimes things get shifted around. The power cords got messed up. We're back to finish the last 5 minutes of the show. All right, I'm sure you probably know by now you need to head over to TightenTheLugnuts.com and buy yourself a copy of the book, thanks to the author, Rocky Romanella. Here's the deal, Rock. Okay, we were finishing fourth down. We were talking about the Cardinals versus the Cowboys. I want to say that my last point as to why the game is super important, besides the fact of leaving the NFC East open this early in the year, it's the fact that you want to see what Andy Dalton's going to do with that offense. I know you have a lot of confidence in Andy Dalton, and you believe Andy Dalton could be a guy
I do.
that could help the Cowboys win. But tonight is going to go a long way in teaching you that, because you want to see how this offense operates with him at the helm.
I want to see it. I actually listen. Andy Dalton is built to take a team to the playoffs and lose in the first round, which has the Dallas Cowboys written all over them this season.
A great point out of you.
I mean, that is literally what he's built for. He's done it multiple times, and he's proven that when he has weapons, Ocho Cinco, like he can throw balls.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy's good. He's a good quarterback. He's a good veteran quarterback. He's a good presence. I mean, think about this. Play one, sack, 8-yard loss, right? Giants call a timeout, next 2 plays in the end zone.
Yeah.
Right. Like you gave him a time to get settled in and be a quarterback, and he became a quarterback.
That's a great point. So that's why I think this game's so big tonight, though.
You'll simplify the offense for him.
Run
right?
Ezekiel Elliott all over.
You'll run
yard.
Zeke is going to do what if the Cowboys are smart, Zeke will do for Andy Dalton what Derrick Henry did for Ryan Tannehill last year, and you could see a Cowboys team go on a run based on the quarterback change.
I'm curious to see, but I think tonight's going to go a long way and teach us that.
Not to mention, it's not about Andy Dalton being better or worse than Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But it's about if those guys really love Dak the way they did, they're going to play.
They're going to play for him.
They're going to go nuts. They're going to go win hundreds of games.
I agree. That is 4 down territory here on the Rome Show. Fantastic Rock breakdown of the NFL. Let's finish the show the way we know how, with a little something called What You Watching.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to go first tonight because I know you have a different type of vibe you want to bring to What You're Watching for the Romo Sapien.
For sure. All right.
Here it is. What I'm watching is going to happen on Sunday Night Football this week. It is going to be the 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 3-2 Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are coming off a bye.
I like that game.
Me too. The
Yeah.
Raiders are coming off a bye, but a big win, 40-32 last time they were on the field against the Kansas City Chiefs. And as we know, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers slaughtered the Packers 38-10. Brady 17-27, 166 yards and 2 TDs. I think it's game's important for 2 reasons. You need to watch it because I think this Buccaneers team is fun. And I think it is enjoyable to watch Tom Brady not with the Patriots playing well for another team.
No doubt.
Also not in the AFC or AFC East. So, woo! But secondly, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Are the Raiders real? And you said they were. And I said I needed to see more. And that's why I circled this game, because I think I'm going to see that more, or the lack thereof, when they play the Buccaneers.
It's definitely a defining moment for the Raiders.
I
No
agree.
doubt. More so than the Chiefs game.
100%. Because if you're going to be a great team,
This is the prove it game.
right now.
For sure.
Right now. So, Buccaneers, Las Vegas Raiders. Sunday Night Football, 8:20. Tune in.
What is that voice?
Isn't that Chris Berman? The Raiders.
Yeah. No, that. I mean, I know what you're trying to
The
do.
Raiders.
You sound more like someone who smokes 2 packs a day.
What you watching, Rock?
I'm watching the NHL replacing legendary Hall of Fame best broadcaster ever, Doc Emmerich, who unfortunately is going to do the proverbial hang 'em up, and he has decided to retire from broadcasting as of today, which is a very bittersweet moment for all hockey fans and really all sports fans around. So Doc Emmerich, just so you know, or Mike Emmerich, not only was he one of the first to ever receive the Lester Patrick Award, by the way, which is an award making him one of only 5 recipients of the Lester Patrick Award in the media, right? So that's a hockey award. He was actually the first ever media man inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame. He's also won 6 Emmy Awards for excellence in sports broadcasting.
Wow.
By the way, the only hockey broadcaster to ever win that.
Wow. That is fantastic.
2011, like I said, first member of the media to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. And then in 2017, Sports Illustrated listed Doc Emmerich as the greatest sportscaster of all time.
Wow. Hats off to Doc Emmerich.
So-
Mike Doc Emmerich. Congratulations on a fantastic career.
So I
Clap it
actually,
up.
doing
Alright.
research, I found out why he's called Doc.
Why?
Because
It's when he played, right?
No, because in 1976, he got a PhD from Bowling Green State University, and now he's a doctor.
Wow. So he really is Dr. Mike Emmerich.
That's right.
So they
Yeah.
call him the Doc.
Yeah, that's right. If you have a sore tummy or a cough, you can go see.
Well, Doc, you are definitely a father. You said the word tummy. Doc, congratulations on a fantastic career. Romo Sapiens, you need to watch out and see who that next person is, because that's going to be a huge, huge hire.
Huge seat to fill for NBC Sports. Doc Emmerich is the reason. I mean, from Versus all the way back, right? From the last lockout till now, hockey has been a huge comeback from a television standpoint. The NHL has used Versus and NBC Sportsnet like ESPN used hockey to prop up ESPN2
Yeah.
in the 90s.
You're right.
And so Doc has led the charge. He's been the national broadcaster for every important hockey game for the last, 10 years.
Wow. Well, there you go. Doc, great career, Rocky. A few people write in on the Instagram. We talked about one. That was the golf outing. Another, I just got Tua in capital letters from Mike Tufano, one of my players, and a bunch of exclamation points. He's also a Miami Dolphins fan.
Go to a.
And then Jonathan Bialy writes in, another player. How much of an advantage do the Dodgers have by having a full starting pitching rotation?
None. It's the World Series.
You think it doesn't matter?
It's the World Series.
All right, I would agree with you just because of the way the Rays and Kevin Cash know how to manage their pitching staff. The last one I got for you before we end this show, the New York Yankees. What's the most important thing they need this offseason?
Ooh, I wanted to say new manager.
I knew you were going to pick
but I'm
that.
actually going to say a new catcher.
I agree with you 100%. You either need to decide if Higoshiaka or whatever hell his name is the guy, or if you need to go find somebody else like a Jonathan Lucroy.
And by the way, decide if you want him to hit or not.
Yeah,
Because
and what
don't
type of
hold him-
catcher you want.
That's right. Don't hold him to a hitting standard if you don't want him to hit.
Listen, this has been a fantastic show here. October 19th, 2020. We are The Rome Show. Remember, we come to you every night on HamiltonRadio.net, channel 2, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1 from 7 to 8 p.m. And if you missed some of this show, most of this show, maybe all of this show, and you want to listen to it again, you don't want to watch our faces, that's fine. Head over to the podcast. Type in Wide World of Rome, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also head over to wideworldofrome.com to get your listening needs and your apparel needs for The Rome Show fed. Rocky, we will be back next week. Special day, our sister's birthday, and I will no longer be in my 20s.
Looking forward to it.
Very much. So thank you for listening to The Rome Show here tonight. We will see you next week. Later.
The founder and CEO of 360 Management Services, LLC, and author of the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots-on-the-ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
Do this look like work to you? Nah, looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here, all of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah, all of this for me. Bottles over here, all of this for me.